In this video, we will explore the reasons why it is important to have a clearly defined disaster recovery plan for your school. We will discuss some of the elements to consider in your disaster recovery plan and methods that can be used to aid in your planning. An IT disaster recovery plan is a documented and structured approach to the remediation of any issues that arise in the event of a disaster, and it describes how an organisation can quickly resume operation. The plan should be based around scenarios and what-if questions. An example would be, what if there is a fire that occurs in the server room? The DR plan should also link to and form a large part of the school's wider business continuity plan. A disaster recovery plan is essential to help safeguard and prepare your school for unpredictable events and disasters that could happen at any time. The plan allows you to understand and develop strategies for known scenarios such as natural disasters, human error, hardware failures, and cyber attacks, to name a few. When a disaster occurs, people may not be able to think clearly and may feel overwhelmed by the incident causing the issue. They may be unable to prioritise the actions that have to be taken to contain and resolve an issue. Having a plan allows for a structured and guided approach to recovering services that are affected following such events. Disaster recovery planning and testing is used as a way to aid in these often stressful situations to ensure that all roles are clearly identified and processes understood. There are multiple considerations when writing your disaster recovery plan. Firstly, how you will deal with different events. What events could happen at your organisation, and what mitigating actions can be taken to resolve the issue? What is the likelihood of each of these events? What process will be followed, and do any configuration or resilience changes need to be made to aid this? An escalation route. An escalation route for systems should be considered and documented. What support is in place from senior staff or third parties? How would you contact these individuals and third parties? Investigation. A clear documented process for the investigation of issues for different systems is required, including the access required, where to look, and what to look for in each system. A clear documented step-by-step process for recovery should be in place for each scenario and each system. Each system should also have documented an acceptable downtime that is communicated and agreed by all organisation parties in advance. So how can you make your disaster recovery planning more effective? Firstly, a scenario-based approach. A DR plan should follow a scenario-based approach where different scenarios for different disasters are planned for. Each system within the organisation should be listed and scenarios produced for each. A priority for each system should be assigned, detailing how important the system is to the overall running of the organisation. As well as scenarios that affect each system, thought should be given to the potential threats, such as cybersecurity attacks that could affect one or multiple systems. And scenario testing. The plan should have scheduled and documented testing on a regular basis. The tests will determine whether the process passes or requires changes. This video gave an overview of the importance of having a disaster recovery plan within your school, and gave some methods that can be used to plan more effectively. If you want to learn more about security and systems and what it means for your organisation, you can watch the other helpful videos on the app. Or if you want to ask a more detailed question, or need any more support on this topic, you can always email 9 at support@9.com.